Good evening, everyone, or anyone, and welcome to another edition of My 15 Minutes. This is episode 14 on January the 14th of 2020. I have a couple things on the agenda tonight. Not that it matters to anybody but me, but anyway, I have a couple things. First off, let's go to the image of the day. This is something I downloaded. Oh my goodness, look how pretty that is. Gorgeous. Valley scene, snow on the sides of the mountains, big moon just glaring away in the sky, gorgeous stars on either side that aren't overshadowed by the moon. Gorgeous picture, just stunning. Secondly, I'd like to make an apology to my future sister-in-law Janet. Make sure that she is aware. I apologize. I had a bad. She was supposed to be on here yesterday. I had a bad night Sunday night, so was unable to accommodate her first thing in the morning. And then I thought maybe the afternoon, but she had other commitments. So we're going to try again either next week or the week after. I'm not sure which, but we'll talk to her and we'll get her up here and get her opinions online. Get her opinion out into the world. The other thing is, that's right. I have a joke, actually, that I wrote down a while back. I like to listen to comedians on our friend Alex, and the other day I was listening to Ron White. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He is part of the Blue Collar Comedy Troupe, as they say. Jeff Foxworthy, Ron White, Bill Engvall, and Larry the Cable Guy. Those guys, and I think they're all hysterical. I think their comedy is great, but I stole this joke and it belongs to Ron White now, but I'm going to tell it because it's just perfect. It just makes perfect sense. What he says is, I believe that if life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Yay. And then you go out and find someone whose life gave them vodka and have a party. When I heard that, I thought, that is so perfect. So perfect. Yeah, if you get lemonade, go find some vodka and get yourself going and have a nice night. Update from last night. Susan, my wife, Susan, says that I wasn't allowed to call the Aflac rep because he called her first this morning and told her what was up, and although he has not gotten an answer as to why things got to this point, he says things will be cleared up by Friday, so we'll see. I was all ready to go in there and duke it out. This guy, not literally this thing, but over the phone, give him a piece of my mind. Because I just think it's rude and when a company treats people the way they do, or the way they have, for this particular person. For Susan, not for me, not for anybody that I know of. I don't have any confirmed reports of Aflac crap going on anywhere other than in my household. So that's about what we're going to go with tonight. I saw an article, and this is really what tonight's subject is. I saw this article yesterday online, or this morning online, I can't remember. But what it talked about is where the volunteers for our services are coming from. Primarily areas around bases, or from the South where military service is something to be respected, and people use it. People go into the Army and get a job and stay in that job for years and years and retire out of it. So, but this article showed a disparity in where these recruits are coming from. They're coming from the Deep South more than any place else, or in the West around larger bases. The problem, according to this article, is that we don't have anything in the Northeast or North even, because they've closed all the bases for better weather down south. That's what this thing said. They closed all these northern bases because you can continue training in the southern weather, where it's warmer. Well, that's true. I did a big chunk of my training at Fort Polk, Louisiana in January, and we did not freeze to death. it was cold occasionally, but it was Fort Polk, Louisiana in January. Thank goodness it was January. I would have hated to have been there in June and July, August. Ooh. But anyway, what this article says is that there's a disparity in who joins, where the people come from that join. And this goes right back to what I was talking about a few days ago. Whenever that, I don't remember what episode it was, but I'm a believer in conscription. I believe that everybody should give 2 years of their life to the United States of America if you want to continue to live here and enjoy the benefits of being a United States citizen. I mean, I don't know how to put it any plainer than that. If you want to live here between the ages of 18 and 20, that's your duty, is to give it up. Now, there is a whole lot that has to go into the thought behind this, or to implement it, I should say. The thought is, there is no thought behind it. It's just that you living here owe this government 2 years of your life. That should be the only thing. It should be a referendum. It should be a law. It should be a change to the Constitution if necessary to require it. I'm not saying that there are not circumstances that won't allow somebody to join or be part of, but it doesn't have to be the military. The conscription is for just any place that we can use somebody to do something to help this country's infrastructure, or whatever it is. I can't tell you all the jobs that could be done by all these people. Somebody better than I will have to figure it out better than I can. But I can tell you there's certain things that, like, people are going to be, what about, I want to go from high school to college. Well, okay, you can do that if you want to. Oh, look at here. Angelina's coming in again. Twice in a night, in a row. You want to try it again? Come on. Come on. Up. Come on. Up. Come on. Up. Come on. Oh, you can do it. Come on. You can do it. You can get in the picture, can't you? Come on. No, I guess not. But you can sit here with me. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. For instance, there could be deferments. For instance, what we need in this country is scientists, engineers, programmers. We need to move back to a technology-heavy country, a leader. And the only way to do that is through education. So, for instance, say if you carry a 3.75 through all 4 years of high school and your disciplines are in engineering or one of the areas that we need help in, I'm not saying liberal arts is a bad thing, but we don't need artists right now. There's plenty of those. We need people that can help the structure of this country. So, for instance, if you had a 3.75 average for 4 years, you've dedicated your life to something that could help us, then by all means, head on out, get into college. You're still going to owe 2 years. Whenever you're done, you're done. Whenever studies you're done. You could take those studies, you can take that degree, whatever you earn. Unfortunately, you're going to have to pay for it on your own if you happen to go in before your service. But if you go in to the service of the country and you come out after 2 years, we're going to help you as a country. We're going to not only take what you've given us for 2 years of your time, and we're going to multiply it and help you pay for college or whatever it is. There'll be benefits to serving your country beyond keeping your ability to live here. I don't know if anybody would ever go that far. That would be my particular thing, but I don't know if anybody will ever go that far. But I mean, there's ways to work it out. Every single person in this country should have to give up some time. It's not a hard thing. And if you do it when you're young, it's gone, it's over with, it's an experience, you'll use it for the rest of your life. Look at it like we owe this country. We do. And we owe it more than the taxes they collect from us. That just makes us poorer, and and just drums it into us that we can't trust the government because they just keep taking and taking and taking. But should we give up a couple of years of our lives, maybe the economic benefit of that will bring about this change that we need, and we can utilize these hours that other people can give. Now, I'm not saying that it's a free system altogether. People would have to be given a stipend and a place to live, and services that could maintain that for later. It's like not quite like being in the army or anything, but yes, you're going to have camps where people live and work out of and do jobs, and I don't see any way around that. I mean, somebody could figure that out. I'm sure there's a myriad of ways to figure this all out. I can't give them to everybody. I don't even know if I have the right answers, but I do know that we need this as part of what this country is about. Other countries do it without an issue, and their population understands it and goes for it, and deals with it. We need it. We have a huge population. We got more people in this country than you can stick at. How many people are between the ages of 18 and 20 right now? I don't know. 30 million? 20 million? 15 million? I don't know. I got 300 million people here, so, got to be got 10% of them? Maybe not. Those two, but, 5%, I don't know. I don't know. Figure it out, people. But that's a lot of hours of labor. And manual labor is not a bad thing. Doesn't have to be manual. There's all kinds of jobs that need to be done and need doing. You can elect to go into the service on your 2-year commitment and get trained on one of the jobs that they have to offer. There is no reason you can't utilize that 2 years for your benefit. It should be utilized for anybody's benefit who puts into it. I just think that there's too little, and this article that I read proves it. Actually, there's just too little concern in this country for sharing the load. There is a load to be shared, and we should be doing it. We should be helping each other. We should be helping this country, and we should be doing it, all the time. We drafted people when we needed to draft people. We, took them into the military. We made them part of that life, and then sent them off to war, or we sent them to do jobs that needed to be done in the military. But now all that's being done by civilians that I get. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody even know what KP anymore is? I don't know. I'm not privy to the military anymore. I don't. I spent my 3 years and got out, so I don't really know what it's like inside. But I have heard stories about people that where civilians do the cooking and the cleaning in the mess halls, and it's getting to be a fairly cushy life because they pushed off all the things that used to be done by the menial level of soldier, and they pushed it off on the civilians to get more money, that make more money than the guys that are in uniform. So they make more money to serve the lesser pay. I don't, and maybe I'm wrong on that. I have no idea for sure. Maybe I am. But in 1967, I was in a facility in Indian Head, Maryland, and all of the wait staff in that training facility's cafeteria area were all civilians. The cooks were civilians. There was no, it was a pretty amazing experience, actually. It was a Navy-run base, and they ran it more like a college than they ran it like a naval air station. It was pretty good. I mean, I flunked out of that school, but I really enjoyed the time I spent there. Anyway, 30 seconds on the clock. Time to wind it down. So there's my thing for the night. I'll see if I can figure out how to put a link to the article that I was talking about in tonight's notes. So take a look down below, and we'll see what we can do. I'm not sure I can do it. I don't know if anyways, I'm about ready out of time. So I'll figure it out if I can, and otherwise we'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night. Take care.